Hello Taurus, this is Melissa with Enchanted Emerald, and I am bringing you your love reading for July 6th through July 13th, 2022. So Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. If that is you, this is your reading. So as I step into your energy, Taurus, I really feel as though there's some internal conflict kind of happening around you at this point in time. We are using the Light Seers Tarot, and out of that deck, your energy is actually represented by the Moon card with the Five of Wands. Okay, so what I'm really feeling with this Moon card is, the word cryptic actually came through, is that there is a hidden meaning, right? I feel as though it might be really difficult for you to understand right now. You might be kind of questioning, like, gosh, why? Why is this happening to me? You might be sitting in some sort of a victim mode. But this is really important for you to kind of understand that this Five of Wands is really bringing in more of an internal conflict, right? Where you might be kind of looking at, like, gosh, what is it that I want out of this love relationship, or a love relationship for you singles out there, right? Now, I feel like, this is where you could be like maybe a time where you could be drowning in self-doubt, right? This is an overwhelming emotion. You've got the white and the black wolves on either side of the moon there, and that's your conscious and subconscious. You really are trying to confront some of your shadow self, bringing that into the light and allowing your intuition to guide you along the way to help you do some of this healing work, right? Now, I feel like some of this self-doubt that's lingering, that you're working through, is really one that kind of comes from, a place where we get into a point where we are comparing ourselves to other people, right? I'm not as pretty as so-and-so. I'm not as fun as so-and-so, right? It could come into that. Or we're feeling as though we're in a competition with someone else in order to, so to speak, win the love or affection of the person that we are interested in, right? And so that's where some of these self-doubts kind of creep in. But it's about understanding that even though we have a lot of these emotions going on, again, this is a mind or over matter, right? Like, we have really a lot of things going through our mind, but it's about questioning, is this an emotion? Is this a thought? Is it true? Right? Questioning our thoughts and working through that and replacing them with some affirmations that really feel good. Identifying how you are feeling and identifying how you want to feel, and then moving yourself from a place of thoughts that don't feel good into a place of thoughts that support how you want to feel. Right? So replacing that with your affirmations, really getting yourself into a space of loving energy so that you're ready to show up for someone else and ready to show up for yourself, right? Because love knows no bounds. And so with that, I feel as though you can kind of see on this Five of Wands, that brush that's kind of at the top of that, it's almost like it's being set on fire. That's a limit that we kind of put on ourselves, right? So that could be our own mind, where we feel as though that's as good as it's going to get, or that's where, that's as far as I'm going to go, or, something like that. There are limits that we put on ourselves, or think that we can only achieve this much. And so it's about connecting with that passion inside, that fire inside, and setting that on fire to really allow that to dissipate, right? To allow that to burn away, because that's really our own subconscious working against us, right? And so that's that shadow self that's going to come to the light. We're going to heal it. We're going to confront it. We're going to release it and allow ourselves to really start to reach for our passions, like this person is in this card. And as we start to reach for our passion, we thought that that passion had died. We thought that that was never going to be as wonderful as, as it's going to be, right? Like, we really thought this is as good as it's going to get for me. And then as you start to burn away some of those limitations that you placed on yourself, you really start to connect with new energy, and you're like, oh my gosh, this feels amazing, the energy that I'm connecting with, or this connection that I'm feeling with this person, right? And so that is, it's about releasing that and creating space for this new love if you're single, right? And so, again, allowing your intuition to guide you. You are going to know what's best for you and how you need to do that and how you need to achieve that. If you're feeling as though you need to do a real, in fact, like burning bowl ceremony, if you need to write down the things that you think are holding you back and then burn that in a safe container, a bowl, or flush it, rip it, flush it down the toilet, or whatever. That is up to you. Allow your intuition to guide you. You will know exactly how you need to release that. And you could even feel as though you want to wait until the full moon, then that's it. Fine as well. So it's about reaching for more, believing that more is available to you, and know that nothing is as it seems. Okay, Taurus? So you might feel as though, you're like losing hope in regards to a situation. And for those of you that are in a relationship, this could be as a result of a confrontation. Okay? And I'm going to get to that in a second. It could be losing hope because you are used to being self-reliant. And so you've always done everything that you needed to do for yourself. You've never really had to rely on someone else. And now some of you Taurus out there are learning to rely on someone within a relationship dynamic, and maybe even learning to work within a team dynamic, and working within that team dynamic differently than you've ever worked in a team before, okay? And so it is about working through that and learning to become this dynamic duo, right? Where you're in the relationship, you're both working together to achieve really amazing things. In fact, I do feel that for some of you in a relationship, learning to become self-reliant, or relying on each other instead of self-reliant, learning to rely on each other and working to become that dynamic duo, I do feel as though, like what you guys are working to achieve together, it's individually impossible. Like, what you would work on, you'd be like, I'm self-reliant, I'm going to do this myself. If you were to try to work on that same goal that you guys are working on alone, it wouldn't happen. You wouldn't be able to do it. But because you have this person in your life, in this relationship with you, that is willing to help you and willing to step up to the plate and support you, emotionally, financially, whatever it is, that person stepping up to the plate and you guys are working together, you are able to like shoot for the moon and go beyond, reach the stars, right? And so, or whatever that saying is. So, I really feel like you're able to achieve so much more working together. And same goes for that person. Maybe they had a goal in mind. And, if they were to decide to try to work on it alone, and you weren't able to step up to the plate to be there for them in the way that they need you to be, they would not also be able to achieve that goal. So you guys are stronger together, right? This dynamic duo comes out, and it's almost like people don't believe how amazing that is until they're seeing it happen, right? Or maybe you don't even believe how amazing that is until you're starting to see how it's working and how it's happening. And so it's almost as if it's like an outstanding situation where you and this person are now being like noted by other people as a result of the work that you guys are doing together. Like they're like, oh yeah, we'll believe it when we see it. They're starting to see how great you guys are together, and they're taking notice. And so again, I do feel like some of you Taurus out there could be working on, again, when it goes back to this love knows no bounds, thinking about how good it gets, right? Knowing that there is more out there, really reaching for that. Again, being believable and realistic, but then also seeing spirit show up for you to support you in that goal. It becomes really amazing, right? So I do feel like some Taurus out there will be working on things such as learning to accept love now, where things happen in a relationship where love is doted upon you, whether that is in a physical form, like hug, affection, right, holding hands, or whether someone is buying you flowers or buying you tickets to your favorite baseball game or something like that, buying something that means a lot to you. However you accept love, right, are willing to receive love, I feel as though it's been kind of difficult for you to receive love in certain ways. And so it's been hard to swallow that pill, so to speak. And now you're opening up more to that because your love is flourishing, your passion is flourishing, and you're starting to experience that in a deeper way. And so that's a really great thing. Now, for those, going back to this confrontation, right, where I say nothing is as it seems, and you're kind of losing hope a little bit. This confrontation kind of comes in where I feel as though there was an argument on someone's behalf, right? And I wanted to talk about this before I led into the energy of the partner because it's a perfect lead-in. But for those that resonates with, that had a little bit of a confrontation, I do feel as though there was some sort of false pretense, right? Where someone was attempting to be someone that they weren't, right? In order to maintain the relationship or to get into the relationship. Perhaps they were attempting to be super chivalrous. They were trying to be this, portray themselves as a very upstanding person, very intelligent, things like that. And this charade is kind of falling apart, okay? And so this anger and resentment on your part is kind of building at this point. You are really frustrated with this because you're seeing this charade fall apart before your eyes. And so when you anger a bull, what happens? Things happen, right? Whether you actually physically like throw something out of anger, right? Or something like that. I feel like maybe you're verbally throwing it in their face that they are not who they said that they were, or you're seeing that, right, kind of happen. I feel as though there's some sort of mishandling, so to speak, of the situation, you know, or maybe something got shoved in the room or something fell over, right? Some sort of a confrontation. So it wasn't just verbal. I do feel like things did kind of like bull in the china shop get out of hand in some way, shape, or form. Now, this person, however, their energy is a little bit different. They're acknowledging, right? This high priestess, they're very self-aware. That's their energy, as a high priestess. Okay, that's what they come in as. They also have the Three of Wands, the Tower, things are kind of falling apart, and then the Hanged Man, so whole new perspective. So being very self-aware, this person that you could be dealing with, I do feel that they are carrying these actions with them, right? That they acknowledge what they've done. They have this burden that they now carry with them, or regret even, that they did that. They couldn't really understand exactly why they did that, except that, I get the phrase like try it on for size. It was almost like this masquerade ball where they put the mask on, right? It was almost like an experiment to them. They saw this as some sort of an experiment, whether a social experiment or an experiment to kind of push themselves past their horizon. They were really looking to expand their horizon, to adapt to new situations, maybe looking to, I don't want to say climb the ladder socially, but to mingle with new people, things like that. I do feel that there was something, you know, another agenda with this as well. but they were super attracted to your beauty. It was almost like they were hypnotized by your beauty. That's that Taurus thing, right? And that was what was really the most intriguing for them. And so they were mesmerized by you. And so they really wanted to try to make this happen. And they really thought that they could do this, and really thought that they could show up for you in that way. So they really tried to adapt. And now it's almost as if they wanted to just kind of see how the other half lives. Like maybe they would never have gotten into a relationship with anybody as beautiful as you. Or they would never have been able to have been given a chance by anybody of your status. Or something like that. So it was something that was totally new for them. Like completely new territory to walk through. And I feel like Taurus was kind of intrigued by this person. Like, they came off, and I'm getting big chills with that, some validation. You know, like I feel like this person was really, like, say, philosophical or something, where Taurus was really intrigued by how sophisticated this person seemed, or how sophisticated they actually are, right? Now you're kind of turned off, of course, because you're seeing things kind of fall apart. But, you know, you're like, you know, I'm really frustrated with that. And so this person on the other side, though, is really trying to, excuse me, choose to see the good and the bad of the situation and see, you know, where do I go from here with that? And so they are kind of also reminiscing on the good times that you guys had. Like, definitely going to carry not only that burden, you know, of the regret of what they did, but they're also going to carry the good memories that you guys had. And so, you know, really feel like, you know, I hear that song with the lyrics of, like, just take those old records off the shelf. Like, I just feel like this person gets super joyful and excited when they think about certain things that you guys did, and it was so much fun. And these are the memories that exactly this person wanted, this exact memory imprint that this person wanted to create by doing this too, right? Like, you meant a lot in this person's life. And so, you know, I feel like it's almost like they acknowledged, though. It was like doing this was like kind of swinging, like on a swing at the playground, but like backwards, with your head backwards, so you're seeing things upside down, just like what the hangman would do. New perspective. But you can't do that for only so long, right? Because you get like this head rush. So then you have to at some point like sit up, and you can't do it for very long. So then in the upright position now, you know, this person realizes that, you know, yeah, I pretended to be somebody that I wasn't. And I know it was almost like winning a battle, but not winning the war. And it was just temporary. But this person doesn't have a lot of regret, right? Because they're really thankful for those memories, right? Really thankful for all the good times that you guys have had. And so I think that really, you know, on the other side of it, if they had known like just how much like Taurus appreciates integrity in relationships and that kind of thing, they might have made different choices getting into it. But they can't undo what's been done, and they understand that. And so they know that the choice now kind of sits with, where do we go from here? And so the outcome, of course, here is 7 of Swords. You know there's been underhandedness. You know there's been some manipulation. You got 6 of Swords. It's all over but the healing, right? You've got that baggage with you, that luggage, and you're headed out of that terrible waters, right? You're getting out of that sea. And, you know, 10 of Swords, end of a cycle. You know, I think here the biggest advice from Spirit is to really just go where you are valued. Go where you're valued, okay? And, you know, again, with this, just because there's no evidence doesn't mean that it didn't happen, right? Just because there's no, like, physical scars, right, doesn't mean that there won't be scars on the heart or scars emotionally from the damage that's been done from the things that you've been through. And so, you know, again, your intuition is going to guide you out of this. You know, you really absolutely can't lie to yourself through any of this anymore. You're exhausted, and, you know, you understand that now must come a time of peace for this healing to occur. And that can only happen by removing yourself from the equation, removing yourself from the situation. And that's exactly what you're going to do. And so if your intuition is saying something is off about this situation, honor that going forward, okay? And, you know, it probably is. So they never will steer you in the wrong direction. So, again, on the other side of this, you will be in a much better space, and new things will come in for you after this healing takes place. So good read here for you, Taurus. I do so hope that this resonates for you in some way, shape, or form. As always, if you're interested in your own personal reading, I'd love to be able to do that for you. You can hit me up in the messenger on Facebook, or you can book a session with me on the Square site, pinned in the description box below, or at the top of the page if you're catching me on my Enchanted Emerald Facebook. As always, I will be back with another read for you guys again soon. Until next time, be kind to one another. Take care. Thank you.